I welcome you all to our very first class under equations. So we are here for principal math. So a student of sub math should just be here for fun, but they can also be around to pick a leaf because this is also a topic of sub math. So principal math students, equations is our topic for today. So as usual, we always first go through the syllabus book and confirm what exactly the curriculum developers really want us to cover as far as a certain section, topic, subtopic is concerned. Okay, so for today we are here for generally topic 2. That means it is a topic of term 1 in senior 5 as you begin your A-level journey. Yeah, one of the hardest journeys in the academic sector. Now, the very first subtopic is linear and simultaneous equations. Then the second is quadratics. But we got done with quadratics 100%, and I gave you reasons why we covered subtopic 2 before subtopic 1. So we are here for only two things, only two. The moment we cover those, it will be a good move, or it will have been a good move, and we shall be good to go to the next thing. Okay, so the lesson targets are going to be clear is that we are supposed to dust whatever we are seeing here. Those who asked about when lessons end when the lesson targets have been hit. So there is nothing like ending time, it's always starting time. This is an academy, so expect a bit of adjustment in some of how things are run. Are we together? So the very first thing we are supposed to do today is covering linear equations with one variable. This is primary work, so don't expect me to do all that. I'll be simply giving you numbers for some of the things. Then we shall have linear simultaneous equations in two variables. This is also O level work. The first one was primary, but I'm going to show you just a few things. I'll give you simple numbers on each, and then you people will tell me answers in the chat. We leave that. Then we go for the one of two variables. Just one example, people will do it, and then we end that. Okay? And we are going to be applying the different methods. After all, we need to handle two unknowns, even when we are handling three unknowns. So it is very wise that I first give you a preamble, some little bit of primary knowledge concerning the two variables. Are we together? And the methods we are going to be interested in, it's the substitution, the elimination, and then matrix operations. Matrix operations are so many, but at your level, the advanced level, they are interested in using row reduction to the echelon form. And that's what we are going to do today. Are we together? Then the other most important thing shall be the three what? The three variables. So the row reduction is also some sort of matrix operation. You don't need to be so surprised. Okay? And we shall also look at elimination substitution. Then in the future, as we revise scenarios, we shall see that where we shall apply the simultaneous equations, it shall be in motion and economics. And those scenarios are ready. That's if we have obtained the content from here, then we shall be ready for them. So that's the simple thing. So I will not have the lesson targets. Those are the lesson targets for today. So my lesson target is 1. Actually, I'm going to make them 3. So I'll say lesson targets. They're going to be 3. And the first one we are supposed to complete the subtopic. I believe you have already looked at the contents of the subtopic. And of course, we never leave class with at least research or assignment. So I beg you all to get some sort of question banks for the old curriculum. It is very okay because those questions can really be converted into scenarios by a profession or the item writer. So you really need knowledge even with those computation tasks so that if you're to hand a scenario-based task, it can really also make sense in the end. So assignment is very key at the end of the session. So you either live with assignment or research or both. So I will say that this will be the assignment stroke research. And then lastly, I will tell you the next stop. you really need to know the next topic that we are going to cover under principal math immediately after this session, so that the lesson targets, and I won't go beyond that as far as the introduction of the lesson is concerned. So we are going to straight away introduce the topic and then begin numbers. Are we together? So let's press the start button. So according to the syllabus book, we need to know something about linear equation, something that is very cheap. So I'll put for you, you're going to give me the answers at once. So you send one message that is having all answers. Yeah. After all, we shall come to all this in the end. So I have my 3x equaling to 18. You're going to send me one single message that is having all answers. Then we shall have 2. We'll say this is negative 2 plus 3 equal to 0. Yes, I need those answers. Then 3. So these are what they call the linear ones with only and only one unknown. Okay? We are supposed to follow the syllabus logically. Yeah. Then the other thing that I'll need is negative 3 over 4y, and this will be equated to a 1. Yeah, I need to see whether people really have the skills of attempting such work. Then the other one, I can make it something like 5 minus 2x, and then I'll make this a 3, something like that. And then maybe the last one, yeah, it is 1 over x equaling to maybe something like 2 over 3. Just get me those answers. So those are linear ones with strictly only one unknown. They're just here to check your algebra. So I need one single message that is having all answers. But if you're there to save our time, raise up your hand. You tell us, answer to number 1 is this. Answer to number 2 is this. Raise up your hand. Let's leave the chat to save time. Someone raise up your hand. Tell us all the 5 answers. Just use your eyes. You don't need to really do a lot here. Okay, Dr. Mabri. Yes, proceed. Tell us what is the answer to 1, 2, 3 up to 5.
For number one,
Someone is getting attempted to write in our screen. I'm going to remove you from the meeting and you'll never be back here, trust me. So kindly behave. You can first put the village excitement on hold until the end of the class. Yes, proceed, doctor.
yeah, for number one,
Sorry. You can proceed.
I'm not seeing the screen.
It's back. It's those people that are really writing in the screen giving us a time, but it's back.
Yeah, for number one, x is equal to 6.
X is equal to 6. That is 18 over 3. Thank you so much.
Then for number two,
Yes.
x is equal to 3 over 2.
Yes, that is negative 2x equal to, or you take negative 2x the other side, then you have x as 1.503 over 2. That is good. Number 3.
Number three, y is equal to negative 4 over 3.
Y is equal to what?
Negative 4 over 3.
Yeah, that is so good. Go to, that is cross multiplication and then you divide. Then 4, go to 4.
For it is negative, it's actually negative 2.
That is wrong. You see, that's why I've told you that these things are good at checking your algebra. They look cheap. That's why some of you are saying that these things are very cheap. But you see, a friend has told us negative 2. But is it right?
It's 1,
And these
it's
are the
1
things
over.
that really, are you trying to come up with a debate with me? Wait, I finish. You failed. So, okay, now proceed. So it is 2. Then 5. The answer to 5.
The answer to 5, I'm defeated, doctor, there.
Should I add my daughter in P1 on this call and she answers that? Should I add on the Zoom call? She answers that correctly. You failed. And you're 15 years older than her. Please respond to that. 1 over x equal to 2 over 3. What is the answer to x? That is very cheap. You cannot fail that.
X is equal to
Just
3
take
over
the
2.
reciprocals. Yes, 3 over 2. Just take the reciprocals. Don't even cross multiply. Just take the
Okay.
reciprocals on either side and then conclude. Are we
Yeah,
together?
understood, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Okay. Okay, doctor. Now, that is concerning the linear ones with only a single variable. So now they are saying linear simultaneous in two variables. Linear simultaneous. Have it in mind that some of you are saying the ones of three variables are the ones that are hard. But trust me, they are hard because you find issues with solving maybe those with two variables. Because the ones of three variables, for them to become completely solvable, they are supposed to reduce to those of two variables. So it is something that needs the other. Are we together? So we are going to first see how best and how simply the ones of two variables are done. Then we shall find some good time in the ones concerning three variables. And then we shall end with the row reduction to Echelon. So I advise those who are okay with all this beginning work to log off. Just keep checking on us. Just keep checking on us and see whether we have reached the point that you really want. Are we together? Yesterday I told you now you can be visiting the drive. You'll be watching some alkenes as you check on us. The moment we reach row reduction to Echelon form, you now log on. Cover that part and then this class is going to be recorded. You can even go. Leave us here. We cover it. When we are done, you skip the video up to the point you want, you watch. The goal is to save time, complete work in senior 5, revise the whole of senior 6. Then leave the rest to God. Leave God to cook. We are together? So I'm supposed to be advising you as we learn, not necessarily just speaking content throughout. It doesn't help. It's not academically healthy that way. Now we go. I just believe that that is done. So that have been the linear ones with only one variable. I was teaching polynomials, even quadratics. I told people what variables are. And I don't want to really repeat that. It is something I've oversaid in so many math classes. That a variable is the opposite of constant. Constant is something that doesn't change. The variable is something that changes. That's why in math we are always looking for x in whatsoever we are handling. That means x keeps on changing. So it's a variable. So anything you're always looking for throughout is something that changes always. So we call it a variable. Now, let's first see this. So this has been A. So B, we are going to look at, yes, the linear ones. Later, we are going to see the mix, them that are really hard, where we shall have some sort of quadratic combined with linear. That's where the real math really gets hard. But it's just algebra, it's not so hard. But you're going to practice all that, and you go with something as assignment. And trust me, you will perfect. Okay, now linear equations. Someone tell me in the chat, why are they called simultaneous? Linear equation this time round with two variables. I don't want you to overthink, but the mere fact that there are two variables, that means you're going to be solving for two values at the same time. And simultaneous is just an English word meaning at the same time. Like you're doing things at the same time. Are we together? And what are those things we are doing at the same time? Looking for values of two unknowns, or what we call two variables. So the other word for variable is unknown. So instead of variable, someone can have what? Unknown. Are we together? So the first lesson that I'm choosing as tutor, this one we are going to do it together. This one we are going to do it together, and then we see how the substitution and elimination work. I'm not going to give you assignment right now. I'm doing only one, then we switch. And you should be students who are good at coming up with these things on your own. You can be like, let me put here a 2. Then I put here brackets. Now let us set the question together. You can even set a question for a friend. Then you'll be like, let me put 3 here. Then I'm going to put equal signs. Then you'll be like, let me leave this as it is. Let me put here maybe 5. Are we together? Then you'll be like, let me put here something like, okay, let me leave it like that. Then I put here equal signs. You understand? Why? You know that here you're going to have x values, here y values. You're trying to set a question on your own. Then you'll be like, maybe I'll put here, let me choose a 2, and let me choose a -1. Then this one will also be a 2. Then this one will be a -1. That means you are aware that your x value should be a 2 and your y value should be a -1. So you'll be like, this is 4 minus 3, 1. Then this is 2 plus 5, 7. So you come and set the question. So it will be 2x. Are we together? Then this will be plus 3y. And then this side we shall have the +1. Then this will be just x. And then this will be minus 5y. Are we together? And then this will be a 7. So you deep down know that I'm supposed to get the answers. I'm supposed to get 2 as x. And then I'm supposed to get -1 as my y. I think that is right. So I can come and rub this off. Hope you've mastered the answers. So as we solve, you should be aware. In case you've not gotten how the question has been set, just always wait for the already set questions. There is no scenario that will ask you to set a question on your own. Hope we are together. Now, they always tell you to solve something like that. So you're supposed to solve for x and y at the same time. That's why they are called simultaneous equations. Now, there are 3 methods that we can use. And you covered this at your O level. So I'm going to just be giving you those advanced tricks. Advanced tricks that you may need to cover all this work. So the first one, the easiest is elimination. Yeah, the easiest is elimination because of course it is easier to eliminate. You also know that. Then the other method is substitution. All these ones can really help. Hope people are taking notes. Then the other one, they are matrix operations. And I know you people covered something on matrices, and they are not so important for the 2 variables at A level. So for the matrices or matrix operation or matrix method, this will be as solve review. So I'm giving that to you as research. I told you that at the end of the class, we'll have identified what you're taking home as research and what you're taking home as what? Assignment. So when I do something like this, get it from me, I mean take home research. I usually just use it with an assumption that you people already know that it means take home research. Hope you know now. But then for today, we are interested in elimination and substitution because we are going to use it throughout. So elimination to begin with. To eliminate, that means we are going to forcefully first eliminate one of them. The literature in mathematics is not always so important. So in most of the cases, I'll be just speaking the literature and then you people will just take it on the way it is. So these are equations. Oh, let me first secure our book. Okay, now as I've said, for elimination, we are going to first forcibly or forcefully eliminate one of the unknown so that we remain with one. That's what it means, as simple as that. That's what we are going to do for elimination. So those who are taking notes, you write and say, elimination, one unknown is eliminated and we remain with one that we solve for, and then we come back later. As simple as that. So those who are saying that you really have issues with these methods, that's what you should take note of. So the first method that we are going to use for that solution is elimination. What have I said? We eliminate one. Eliminate one unknown. So the question should be how? So answering the how part, the first thing we do is we make sure that the coefficients, we are going to use these same things when we are solving those of three unknowns. So first understand this. So the first thing we do is we make so don't panic. First choose the unknown. If you want to eliminate x, well and good, choose the unknown. If you want to eliminate y, choose y. Any that you want. Then 2. Ensure that so we are supposed to ensure that that unknown that we have chosen has the same coefficients in either equations. So has the same. Hope people know the meaning of the word coefficients. So we are saying in either. So those who opt to use elimination, if at all what you want to eliminate doesn't have the same coefficient, then you may not be in position to eliminate it. Are we together? Then after that, there is a simple rule that we apply after that. However, there is something that you're supposed to respect. That in most of the cases, as we are solving these equations, to really make things really work out for us so smoothly, we are supposed to always label those equations. Yeah, always label them. One should be equation 1, the other equation 2. You realize that after that labeling, things really become so easy and cheap for you. So always label those equations. Don't just look at them anyhowly. It's always very key we label them. So you choose the unknown, ensure the unknowns have the same coefficient in either equations, and then after that, we apply operations. Yeah? Then after that, we apply operations. I remember telling you that operations mean addition, subtraction, addition, subtraction, then multiplication and addition. There are only 4 at your level. So someone may ask themselves, what do you mean by applying operations and how are we really going to do all this? So we shall just have one simple acronym and then we shall take on the opposite or the reverse automatically. So we shall just have senior secondary school, that is SSS, senior secondary school. And you all know that simply means that if it is the same sign, we subtract. That if it is the same sign, we simply what? Subtract. These are very cheap math concepts that I don't want to just speak when we just try to do solutions for numbers. I believe when I first say them, people will be confident enough. Okay, now if at all it is the same sign, we shall always subtract. So someone may be like, same sign of what? Same sign of what? What do you really mean? So we are talking of same sign for the coefficients. For the coefficients. Then someone may be like, what are we really subtracting? The equations. And then you see things coming out in the end. Then step 4 shall be none other than magic. So that is it. If at all you have captured that literature, there is no question that we really give you a time. And I believe after mentioning all that, people can do that on their own. First things first, label them. After labeling them, decide which unknown you've chosen. Are we together? Then ensure that the coefficients of those unknowns or the unknown you have chosen is the same. If it's not, you make it so. Then after you apply operations, and our mnemonic is senior secondary school, meaning same sign we subtract. Same sign of what? The coefficients. What are we subtracting? The equations. Simple as that. Now, to brief you, just something small here that someone may be like, you've said we ensure that the coefficients are the same. what if they are not? Okay, so I'll come and say, if not, there are people who are writing in our screen. I just want you to identify for me one person. We remove them so that they act as an example to the rest. So if not, we make them. So I will say that if not, we make them the same. And how we make them the same, I will have to just show you that. There is certain math that cannot be put in writing. Are we together? Then the other last thing, what is the opposite? Okay, so the opposite of senior secondary school will be so simple. If at all we are saying same sign subtract, that means different signs you're supposed to do what? To add. Same sign we are subtracting, so different sign we are adding, because the opposite of subtraction is addition. The one of division is multiplication. And then in the end we shall see the magic happening. As simple as that. Then the substitution shall be the easiest. But it will be the easiest for those who understood the topic called making a subject in O level. It's one of the things I enjoyed most as a student. I think in senior 4, that is 2013. That's one of the things I really enjoyed even in our unit paper. I said making a subject. It was very good. Now, let's apply what we have just said here. So it is 2x, 3y being a 1. So we are going to see how the solution is done. If we understand 2 variables, trust me, we have no work to do in 3 variables. Okay? So, the solution. Okay? I cannot put response because we are not responding to a scenario. So the very first number. So it is 2x, then this is 3y, then this is a 1. I think I'm right. I said we are supposed to label our work. So you come and say that this is, someone may be like, why are you putting the arrow? Yes, you can put the arrow. You can just put a line. There are people who prefer dotted line. Those are cosmetics in science. So they don't really matter whether you've used the arrow. And again, don't be so weird to be like, doctor said we put whatsoever we want. Then you be like, that is equation 1. No, use the arrow. You can use dotted lines. You can use just some simple line. Okay. Then this is x minus 5y. And then this is a 7. And this is our equation 2. There are those who do this Roman numerals. They just do that. Then this, that is okay. There are those who say 1 and then do this. There are those who do 2 and then do this. That is all okay, okay? You just do anything that is convenient with you. So, I've also decided to change. Now, you realize that what I was calling coefficients, I taught you that even in quadratics, that when you have something like this, the coefficient of this x squared is this a. The coefficient of this x is this positive v. And this is just a constant because it's just a number. So in most of the cases, a coefficient is that figure that comes before something, or that comes before a variable that comes before the unknown. So in this case, 2 is a coefficient of that x. Positive 3 is the coefficient of the y. Here there is a silent one, which is a coefficient of that x. This is negative 5, the coefficient of y. So when you look at those ones, the x is not, we have actually not this, that we have not yet chosen the unknown. So someone may be like, how do you really choose one? And I actually missed a word here. I'm supposed to tell you that you should choose one appropriately. But even when you don't do it appropriately, the answer will still come out. I'm just adding this to scare you, so that people take the choosing very serious. Okay, appropriately. What do I mean? Realize you're having 3 and then you're having what? Negative 5. And then you are aware that that coefficient is supposed to be the same. Then you also have 2 and 1 here. And you also realize that those ones are supposed to be the same. So you put a weighing scale. You weigh and be like, what is easier? Is it easier to make those of x the same or those of y the same? Do you people understand that we are eliminating a certain unknown, but we haven't chosen, but we are done with the labeling? So we are like, is it easier to make that of x the same in either equations or the ones of y? So you choose the right coefficients to really take on. So according to you, what do you really Is it easier to make 2 and 1 similar, or 3 and -5 similar? Which one is really easy? Which unknown do you think it's easy to deal with in this case? Let me see what people are saying in the chat. It kind of looks like senior 4 work. Okay. Someone is like 2 and 5. I don't know why you're going for 2 and 5, yet you're supposed to consider the same unknown. So according to me, X is a bit easier. Because first and foremost, 3 and 5 are very big numbers, and they are having different signs. But when I look at X, one is 2, the other is 1, and both are positive. So I believe it is better if I deal with the what? With the... It's better if I deal with the X. And someone may be like, how are you really going to do that? So me, I believe, I want you to listen carefully. We are going to do some sort of skipping steps that is so nice at advanced level. So if at all you want to make this one a 1, someone may be like, oh, that means we are going to multiply the first equation by a half so that both are 1s. That works, but it's going to waste a lot of your time. It's better you just make a 1 a 2. It's easier to make a 1 a 2 than a 2 a 1. You understand? That means we are supposed to multiply the whole of this by 2. Trust me, this is the second step in the equations to do with 3 variables. So the moment I reach 3 variables, let's agree I'm not doing anything concerning 2 variables. I will only make sure that you've understood how the 3 become 2. So let's give the 2 time. Other than us handling 3 and then later on you tell me that let's also do those of 2 variables and complete the whole question. So let's just follow the syllabus, do this, go to 3, reduce them to 2 and stop there. You will complete the rest. So that is the simple deal. Now, you people realize that after multiplying the whole of this by 2, this one will become something like 2x, this will become like -10y, and this side we shall have 14, isn't it? That means we will have 2 equations. Look here, you will be having 2 equations. But trust me, this one will have changed. That's what people are not getting. You will have to label this one as equation 3, but you can skip that. So someone may be like, how can I really skip that? So remember we said that when the signs on the coefficients are the same, you're supposed to subtract the equations. Are we together? So you will have here 2x, you also have here 2x. Both are positive, so you're supposed to subtract. Now the thing is, are you going to say equation 1 minus equation 2, or you're going to say equation 2 minus equation 1? Someone may be like, but this one is equation 3. Why again saying equation 2? Okay, it's okay. Let's say someone labeled it as 3. So let me say this is 3. And let me also say that this one is what? 3. Now we are saying that this one has been multiplied by 2 and it has become 3. 1 has been left intact. So you people, which one is really better? Realize that the essence of subtracting, that when you set 2x minus 2x, you're going to get a 0. So realize that the chosen unknown has been now eliminated after ensuring that the coefficients are the same. That's why the method is called elimination. Now you've remained with 3y and -10. So you ask yourself, what is better? Is 3y minus -10 better, or -10 minus 3y is better? But before you decide on that, also consider this 1 and this 14 and ask yourself, is 1 minus 14 better, or 14 minus 1 is better? You choose something that is going to make your work easier. I told you that in this mathematics, always look at the prophecy. Look at where you're heading. It can guide you on what to do as of now. So before you even decide on what to do next, we should know what will really work out. Shall it be 3 minus 1 or 1 minus 3? So what do you people go with? But have it in mind, when you choose 3 minus -10, you will have automatically chosen 1 minus 14. Then when you go for -10 minus 3y, you will have automatically chosen the 14 minus 1 because you're subtracting the whole equation throughout. But the 2x won't change. Whether 1 minus 3, whether 3 minus 1, the 2x will be lost in either ways. I don't know whether you people are getting that. So what are we going with as the class? What are we going with as the class? Okay, someone is saying 3 minus 1. So it's them that are really following. So we shall give them the chance. So after you saying that you go with 3 minus 1, I want you to come and grab all this. These are now all of your steps. Remove all of them. So now at the back of your mind, you are aware that I'll go with 3 minus what? Minus 1. So in Enable, you can ask for an extra booklet for just doing your side work. And then you decide not to tie it. Okay, so I'm removing all this. So that's how the equations shall be. But now you already have the script. So you now come for the what? The transcript. So you're going to come and say that what I'm really going to do, hey, I'm going to get. So you people say that we are saying 3 minus 1. But remember, equation 3 came as a result of multiplying equation 2 by 2. So you come and say, I'll get my equation 2. Are we together? And then I will multiply it by 2. Other people are getting me. Be like, I'll get my equation 2. You can have it like this, that this will be my equation 2. And you're like, I'll multiply it by what? By 2. And then after, I'll subtract equation 1. I don't know whether people are getting that. That's the step I want you to learn. But if it is hard for you, you can leave it out. Yes, you can leave it out. But it is some nice step that I always like. So you do things at once and your work is very neat. So that is a cheat code for the serious students I have on the call. Then for us, because me, I used to want a lot of detailed work. So for me, what I would prefer getting equation. I would prefer saying that I'll get my 2 times, then my equation 2, like that. Then I put that arrow and then say it will become 2x minus, this will become 10y, then this side I will have 14. Then this one will become equation what? 3. Then I will label it equation 3. Then after that, you people said 3 minus 1 is better. So you come and say, after that, I will have my equation 3 minus equation 1. Yeah, there is a step that people usually do and then put them in some sort of squares. It is okay, but you can skip that step. So that deep down you know that the 2x will subtract 2x and they will cancel. Negative 10y minus 3y is negative 13y. So you just come and say, here I will have negative 13y period equal sign. Then this will be 14 minus 1 and this will give me 13. I don't know whether people are getting it. So no need of doing that cut table. There is a cut table that people normally draw, but you can leave it out. Yes, you can leave it out. But if you feel like you need it, I know people know it. You can have it. You can have it. But just having that is also very okay. Then you conclude and say, finally, the y shall be a negative 1. Like that. So after getting y as negative 1, you now choose either equation 1 or 2. Substitute the value of y to get the value of what? The value of x. I don't know whether people are getting that. So you look at equation 1 and 2. So for me, when I look at them, I'm looking at, since I'm looking for the value of x and equation 2 is having x without a coefficient, me, I would prefer equation 2 because it will just get me the value of x without doing any division, but just mere subtracting and collecting like terms. So for me, I'll go with equation 2. But even when you go with equation 1, you get the answer. So I'll come here and say using. So I'll come and say, so you come and specify what you're using. Some people say from equation 2, but me I'll say using equation 2. So even if you don't even write that abbreviation of equation, you can put it to be organized. There are those who write it in full. But since you already labeled it as 2, you can simply say using 2. Yes, you put the arrow. Arrows are accepted in math calculations because they even show the examiner, the one marking you the direction of the calculation. So using 2, we shall just have our x here, minus 5y but the y is a -1, and then the other side we have a 7. So this one will be plus 5. When it goes the other side, it becomes 7 minus 5, and then your x will be a 2. This is where most students stop at A level, and they end up losing a lot of marks. And what I'm going to tell you next, you'll not hear it a lot from a lot of places, but that's where most of you stop. But I don't want you to really stop there as scholars or as someone who really went through Science Scholars Academy. So get it from me. In math, there is what we call a Cartesian plane. Yes, get that from me. There is what we call the Cartesian plane. It has the y-axis, it has the x-axis. You study this in vectors. It has the z-axis. But there is that one that we all know, the one that has the x and y-axis. So in most of the cases, you can, or you all know that the general equation of a straight line is the y mx plus c, where m is the gradient, this one is the y-intercept. It will give us the y-intercept. Are we together? So the y and x, they are always variable. What does that mean? That every time you see any equation where y and x are the only unknowns and that equation is linear, chances are high that is a straight line. I know that people are getting me. Chances are high that is a straight what line? Maybe it looks like this. So in most of the cases when you're solving two simultaneous equations that are linear, why they call them linear, it's that they're in the form of the general equation of a straight line. That means if at all they are solvable, if at all they are sharing a value of y and a value of x, that means those two lines are meeting. I know that people are getting me. That in the first place you had these two different equations, 1 and 2, but you're getting values of x, or you're getting a value of x which is shared by both, and a value of y which is shared by both. That means if they are straight lines, they are meeting at one point, and that's why we are coming out to say that they are solvable, they are simultaneous, simply because they have that one meeting point. And you all know a point will always have the x coordinate, and then it will also always have the y what? The y coordinate. So I always prefer my students to have their final answer in coordinate form. Because why those equations look like that, it's because of that. Even if they give you PQR, it is very okay. Even if they give you ABC, ABC, PQR, you can leave it. But if it comes out as XY, XYZ, we take those as simply points of or coordinates of the Cartesian plane. So always have your final answer in coordinate form. Please, it is just an addition, so it doesn't make your final answer wrong. So you come out and say that the solution set, yes, the solution set, I've given you reasons, and the reference of those reasons is Backhouse, one of the biggest books as far as your level is concerned. So you just come and write like that. So I've tried to hit two birds with a single stone. That if at all they give you these two lines and they tell you those are straight lines and they ask you for the point of intersection, of which a point is always having the x coordinate and y coordinate. So it's like they're asking you to solve those two simultaneously. Even if one is quadratic and the other is linear, that means the quadratic one is a curve. And I told you how those curves really come out. So that means this point or this curve is meeting the line. But I'm also going to show you that because we are also supposed to do that in this very class. Are we together? So after using elimination that way and you get the two values, do the needful. Yeah, this one with the z-axis, we shall see when we reach the three variables of all the three unknowns. And I also tell you that the final answer should be in the form x comma y comma then z. So that is it. And that's how elimination works. It never changes. So the easiest or the easier one, the easiest is elimination. But then there is also substitution, which is always nice if it is completely linear. But in most of the cases, it turns out to be very hard. However, it's the only method that can save us when it comes to the quadratic mixed with linear, as we are going to see in the next examples. Are we together? So, very fast, allow me use substitution. Remember, I'm using this once. When we reach three unknowns using the same methods, I will stop at two unknowns. Then you people will do, and then you get me the answers. Then I tell you how to get the value of the third unknown. So let's first see something concerning substitution. So substitution, I told you that it has a concept of O level, the one that is called making a subject. So with substitution method, we follow a few simple steps. Yeah, there are steps that we follow that really make the solution easy for us. So the very first one, choose. Of course, we first label. So even with substitution, label the equations first. Label equations first. Even as we are handling the three variables, you're going to realize that we are supposed to first do the labeling. The rest of the mathematics is supposed to come after we have labeled. So you choose the simpler, the equation that looks simple. Don't choose the hard one. So after choosing that equation that looks simple, what are you supposed to do next? Choose one unknown, only one. One unknown that is easier to make the subject, or that is easier to be made the subject, or that is easier to make the subject, or that is easier to make the subject. Of course, in the simple equation. Remember, we are all, or we have decided that we are choosing the simple equation. Make it the subject. Yeah. So the first two things are just decided by the heart. You just look at it, you be like, out of these two, which one is really looking so simple? After choosing one, you be like, which of the letters is really easier to make the subject, make it the subject? Someone may be like, how do you really make the subject? What do you even mean by the subject? Because me, the subjects are, it is biology, chemistry, math, and physics, and others. So this is what we do. So making a subject involves only three things. Only three things. You understand? Ensure. Ensure it's on the left hand side. Of course, if not, put it there. I want you to listen carefully. So someone will be like, you're talking of making the subject. How are we really supposed to do that? Ensure that it is on the left hand side. If it's not on the left, put it there. After putting it there, make sure it stays there alone. Make sure it stays there alone. And for that matter, they are falling even. Okay, let me give it to people. So the third one, it's there alone on the left hand side. So the third, it's now the subject. It's now the subject. And then after making sure it's the subject, what do you do next? Label that as equation 3. Are we together? After labeling it as equation 3, what next? So we have said label that as equation 3. After labeling it as equation 3, what next? Substitute. Then the rest after that shall be magic. So when you see me writing magic, I just believe it is maternal math. That math you get via the placenta when you're still a fetus. That math you get from the mother. It's what I call maternal math. Very cheap math. Math like x minus 3 equal to 5, x is 8, such things. So this is what we are going to be doing. If at all you follow that, the three unknowns cannot even give you a hard time. That is the substitution method. Whether you're dealing with cubic equations, whether aquatic, label them. Choose the one that looks simple. After that, look for the unknown that is easier to make the subject. What do we mean by making a subject? First, ensure that what you want to make the subject is on the left. If it's not, first put it there. Then do all the math you need to ensure that it stays there alone. The moment it stays there alone, we now say it's the subject. You understand? You understand? Because it is on the left and it is there alone. So label that as equation 3 because you already have 1 and 2. If you already have 1, 2, and 3, then it is supposed to be equation 4. Then after that, you substitute in the ignored equation. Someone may be like, which one is the ignored? Remember, in the first place, you chose the one that looks simple. That means you ignored the other. So it's where you substitute. After all, it's the chosen equation that has led us to equation 3. So we can't again substitute into it. You're supposed to go back and cater for or look for the other one that we ignored. And then you just see magic. So someone will be like, we really want to see that magic happening. So let's decide together. When you look at those two equations, let me first resecure our document. Then we choose the equation together. And then we do the needful together. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. Now, look at those two equations. Let me rewrite them. Then maybe people can help me choose. Okay. So the solution is simple. We just do the same thing. Write both of them, label them, and decide. Someone wants to write in our screen. I really pity you because I'm going to remove you from the meeting. So I said you're supposed to label this as equation 1, and then this is x minus, this is 5y, and this is 7. And what shall we have here? This will be 2. So you people, you look at those two. Which one really looks simple for you? It's not a math. Someone may be like, so the marking guide knows the simpler one. No. You people, we have different eyes. Some of us are short-sighted. Some of you are long-sighted. Some of you have a lot of disorders or eye defects, if I may say. So we cannot see things the same way. So according to you, according to those two equations, which one looks simple to you? Which one looks easy? Which one can you really bully? Which one can you really engage? Which one really looks simple for you? Tell me in the chat. You're going to see people saying 1, others 2, you see? But most people are saying 2, others are saying 1. People having different options. Someone is like first 1, someone is like 1, another 1, 2. That's what I'm really saying. That we cannot see things the same way. But remember, we have to make something the subject. So someone may be like, I told you that with math, you're supposed to be a prophet to yourself. So you should be like, what if I've chosen equation 1 and I decide to make maybe x the subject? If I take this y this side, I will have to divide by 2. But when you look at this second one, mere taking negative 5y the other side leaves x on the left hand side and it's there alone. So when you look at equation 2, it is easier to make x the subject. However, if you consider equation 1, you still get the same answers. Just because you should be someone good at choosing, so that in the end you don't really get disturbed as you're solving your work. Are we together? So that's the prophecy I meant. So if you go for equation 1 and say it's y I'll make the subject, that means y is supposed to be on the left and it is there alone. So you first thank God it is on the left. If it is on the left now, you make sure it stays there alone. How can y stay here alone? You first get this 2x, put it this side. Then after, you also remove this 3 by dividing throughout by 3. But that is a long story. Just look at the second one. The second one, you should just have that maternal math that enables you to see things very fast and be like, if I choose this one, I bring this negative 5 the other side, x will stay alone on the left, so it is a subject. So I can substitute in equation 1 and then solve everything out. Remember, there is when both will be very hard. That means you will have to go the hard way because you will not have any option. Are we together? So all of you have decided that we go for equation 2. No need of telling the examiner that you're using substitution. For you, at the back of your mind, you know I'm using substitution. So what are you doing? You're going to choose the first one. So you'll be like using equation 2 because it's what you've chosen. So it's what you want to use. Why do I even put those simple brackets? Let me just say using 2. Using 2 because I've labeled, so using 2. Of x and 5, you look at them, which one is really easier to be made the subject? It is x. Because something to be a subject, it should be on the left hand, it should be there alone. But the y is already having a burden of -5, but x has nothing almost, because the one is silent. So it's like x is ready for this. So using 2, I can see that my x, is 7 plus 5y. Are we together? And we said the moment it is the subject, call this equation 3. Then, which equation have you ignored? Equation 1. So you're supposed to substitute this equation 3 into the ignored equation 1. So you come and tell the examiner that, guess what? What I'm doing next is substituting. So you come and say, substitute 3 into 1. You understand? No need of putting the equation. You have already tried your level best to do the labeling, so just use numbers. So how are you really going to do that? Substituting 3 into 1 means that wherever you're seeing x in equation 1, you're going to put 7 plus 5y. So in equation 1, I'm having 2x, so I'll be like 2. But wherever I'm seeing x, I'm supposed to come and put the 7 plus 5y. Brackets, then this is plus 3y, then the other side I'm having equal to 1. And that's the magic I told you. Because when you look at that, it is a linear equation with only one unknown. So you're back to primary work. So you just open brackets, get the value of y. Yes. Then you'll be like, this will be 14. This will be 10y. This will be 3y. And this will be 1. So 10y plus 3y, that is 13y. 1 minus 14 is -13. Hope people are seeing those things of 1 minus 14. I don't want to waste a lot of time there. So you get the first value of y as -1. Very correct. Then they needed also the value of x. You have only that of y. But so you can choose either equation 1, 2, or 3. All of them can help you get the value of x. But the best one is equation 3. Why? X is already the subject. So you can easily get it. So I also say, now using equation 3, I don't know, people are making our screen dirty. And they are making us lag because of going back. So when you get the value of 1, it's better you go for that equation that can easily get you the other value easily, okay? And we have agreed that it is equation 3 in this case. So I'll say using equation 3, my x shall be, most of you usually do a mistake and you come and rewrite and say 7 plus 5y. Don't write the y again. Just be like, this is 7 plus 5y, but you know that y is a -1. So put the right hand side in the calculator and get the answers 2, period. And then conclude and tell the examiner your solution set. And then be like, the solution set is, what do I have? I'm having 2, then I'm having -1. This shows that you're a very good math student. The mere fact that you know that Cartesian planes were included somewhere. Something like that. So I'm not solving any other equations to do with 2 variables. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to struggle with those multiplication equations that are mixed with quadratic, then those that are having 3 variables. Are we together? But I prefer beginning with those of 3 variables so that I teach Echelon form when people are still sober as well. Then I will end with those that are mixed, because those that are mixed have different tricks that we may need. But we shall pick them from the question banks of old curriculum so that we can get those computation tasks, and maybe in the near future we can have a look at different scenarios. Hope that helps. Are we together? Now, if we go through the syllabus book, we are really moving. Yeah, we are really moving. So we are more than halfway the lesson targets. So if you can check, let's try to tick as people take some water. One variable we got done. The linear two variables, substitution, elimination. This was take-home research. So part A is dusted in just 1 hour. In just 1 hour. That means we have 1 hour to also do part B, and then we leave this place. So part B is what we are going to handle next. And that is strictly the three what? The three variables. Okay? Equations. Three variables. And I think that is part C. Part C. So why they are also still called simultaneous equations? It's simply because you're going to be getting values of three unknowns, three variables at the same time. So the English part of same time brings out the simultaneous part. So three variables, three unknowns. Three variables. I told you should be students who can set questions on their own, but I'm not going to go through that again. So I'm going to just give you, we are just going to do one number. Okay, let's do two numbers where we don't have a lot of coefficients, and then we do another one where we have some good number of coefficients. So let's first try this one out. So there are three variables, eh? So even the equation is supposed to be two. You understand? If it's one variable, the equation is 1, 2x equal to 5, get x. If there are two unknowns like this, there should be a second equation, maybe 3x minus 2y, maybe equal to 5. If there are three unknowns like x plus y minus z equal to 1, even the equation is supposed to be what? 3. So the number of variables should be matching, in most of the cases, the number of what? Equations. But you're going to see that there is when we can have only two and those things are solvable. But don't you worry, everything is going to be learned today. So the first number we are going to have, get your question banks. Because I believe these questions, I got them from the question bank. I compiled them before the class. So I know most of you don't have the question bank, so I'm going to write the question. So it is x minus 2y minus 2z. And then I think I'm copying a different question. Sorry for that. I beg your pardon. So we are having 2x plus 3y. Just somehow similar like the first one. And then it is plus z equal to 1. Then the other one is 3x minus y minus 3z. Hope people know that this is the small z. I also prefer writing it like that. You forgive my handwriting. Then the last one is the x minus 2y and then the minus 2z. So these are the very good examiners. So we can have a 0 here. So the trick in this question is that at least we have each of the variables with at least a coefficient that is of unit 1. And then we also have a 0 somewhere. So we are good to go. So the next example, we shall try to have some bit of disorder. And then we first order before we can solve. So they give you such a question and they tell you to solve for the values of x, y, and z. Have it in mind the same methods really apply. Elimination works, substitution works, and also matrix operations. Though here we concentrate on the row reduction to the echelon form. As simple as that. So someone may be like, doctor, let's begin eliminating. But if we are to eliminate, how are we really going to do it? So let's look at the elimination mind map. Elimination is really the best. Yeah, it's really the best. If you're to substitute here, you may end up finding a lot of issues. Okay, so I'm going to tell you here that the best method is elimination method. And let me give you the mind map. And provided you understand the mind map, I don't need to do a lot of numbers. So what are we really supposed to do in this? If I told you we are to handle the elimination method, how do we always really handle it? So you all know you're supposed to do the labelings. Those ones are a must. Labelings are a must. In finance, we call such things unnegotiables. That if I told you you're handling certain tasks, there are certain things, if they're supposed to be 6 hours of sleep, that is unnegotiable if I told you to reach the sky. So labeling is a must. So in whatever you're doing, labeling is what? A must. So what people call it numbering, eh? Label or number, labeling, numbering, whatsoever. So if you're to eliminate, hey, if you're to eliminate, this is what we do. So we are going to look at the elimination mind map. It's the one that is going to guide us in the rest of the numbers, and it will also guide you in the assignment. So elimination mind map. What is the first thing? Choose any two. Choose any two. Choose any two equations and then do what? Eliminate any unknown of your choice. We are giving the mind map, yeah? Then this is one, eh? Then two. What are you supposed to do? Choose any other two. So here you underline the word other, very key. Choose any other. Are you listening? Choose any other two equations. Of course, you cannot choose the same. And after choosing any other two equations, what next? Eliminate the same unknown. So here the word same is very key. Eliminate the same unknown. Are we together? What is the hint? What is the hint? We are eliminating using the same. We are eliminating using the same knowledge. Someone may be like, Doctor, which knowledge? Do you remember where we began from? That for you to eliminate, first look at which one is really easy for you. For you to eliminate, you choose the unknown you want. After choosing it, make sure the coefficients are the same. Then after, perform operations. Same sign, subtract. Same sign on what? Coefficients. What are you subtracting or adding? The equations. Do you remember that knowledge? It's what I mean. Using the same knowledge as before. So remember, these are equations of three unknowns, and you have been choosing two randomly where you have eliminated the same unknown. That means you're going to be left with the two equations having this, having, I don't know that forgetting. If you pick 2 and eliminate z, you're going to form an equation that is in maybe x and y. When you pick more 2 and still eliminate z, you're going to form another equation that is in x and y. I don't know whether people are getting. Choose any two, maybe 1 and 2. Eliminate z. You're going to remain with an equation that is in x and y. We are going to see that. Pick any other two, maybe 1 and 3 or 2 and 3, any that you want. Eliminate the same letter z. You're going to get another one that is in x and y. So you're going to have formed two equations in x and y. So you solve them simultaneously. Get the value of x and y. Now come back and substitute in any of the three to get the value of z. I don't know whether people get what they call a mind map. I don't know if people have tried to pick something at least from what I've said. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. That the moment you eliminate one unknown, you will obtain equation 4. Are we together? And this equation 4 will have the other two unknowns. Are we together? And guess what? The moment you also eliminate here the same unknown, you will obtain, this time round it's going to be equation 5. Equation 5. And also this equation 5, guess what? It's having still the other two. I don't know, we are at the same page with people. We shall form the other two unknowns. As simple as that. And guess what? So you realize you're having equation 4 and 5, which are in the other two unknowns. This is what people I told you. That you people are saying that, this looks like senior 4 work. But you're the same people saying 3 unknowns are hard. But do you see that they need 2 unknowns for them to really become so easy? So what you do next is that you get this equation 4 and this equation 5, and then you solve them how? Simultaneously. Yeah? The last thing is to solve equation 3 and 4 simultaneously. And then you're done. So solve equation 4 and 5 simultaneously. And after solving them simultaneously, what you will have is magic. Why? You will have values of 2 unknowns. So you just come to these very first ones, 1 to 3, choose any, substitute the 2 unknowns, get the balance. And then you people tell me that this is hard. So someone may be like, what if the question says use substitution? It can never. Elimination is the best here. The other one is the row reduction to echelon. So you people tell me, do we really need to do a lot of numbers here? I remember telling you that as we are teaching this math, have it in mind, there is the literature part, there is the example part. So there are people that understand the literature part even more than calculations. There are those who don't really make sense out of this whole literature and they wait for the calculation part, which is okay. Then there are those who get both. So, but I always want you to also learn this literature. It's so important. Choose any two, eliminate one of your choice. Choose any other two, eliminate the same. You understand? Obtain equation 4 and 5. Of course, they will be in the same other unknowns that you didn't choose. Okay? Solve them simultaneously. Since they are in 2 unknowns, you get 2 values. Substitute in either 1, 2, or 3, get the other unknown remaining. Have a solution set in the vector form that we talked about. Are we together? So let's begin the solution. So for me, I'm going to go for 1 and 2. But as I go for 1 and 2, I'm supposed to know which one. Okay, you people, if I told we are to go for 1 and 2, oh, you can tell me, what can we really choose? You look at those equations and look for those 2 equations you can choose, and there is a letter that is easier to be eliminated. Do you see people that if I choose 1 and 2, okay, you people tell me, if we choose 1 and 2, which one is the easiest? Which one is the easiest letter or the easier letter to be eliminated? 1 and 2. Look at equation 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Look at equation 1 and 2. Look at equation 1 and 2. Which one or which letter is easier to be eliminated? Look at 1 and 2. Look at 1 and 2. Equation 1 and 2. Which letter is easier to be eliminated in the chat? People are saying Y or Z. The person who has said Y and Z, those are very good people. They should give you their numbers and you consult them at any time of the day. Y and Z, they fall in the same caliber. So there is nothing like Y is easier than Z. No, all of them are actually so good. But let me shock you. The best one is the Z. Do you people realize that if at all we are to eliminate Z, we shall have to we shall have to, anyway, that will be a lot of prophecy and I will end up confusing my people. But let's leave that. Okay, any Y or Z is very okay. But as we progress and do harder numbers, I'll be giving you a lot of prophecy that will make you a very good mathematician, as of course you practice numbers. So if I've said we go for 1 and 2, but as we go for 1 and 2, we are eliminating Z. So what does that mean? Let's first multiply equation 3. So let's first multiply equation 1 by 3. Then I want you to be good mathematicians with a very keen eyesight. When you multiply equation 1 by 3, your goal is to make sure that, because this is negative 3, and you people want to eliminate Z. So, but here Z is having 1Z. So you're supposed to multiply the whole of this by 3. So when you multiply that by 3, in equation 1 you will have 3Z, but then in equation, I want you to listen carefully, but then in equation 2 you will have negative 3Z. So do you realize that the coefficients are having different signs? And if they are different signs, do we subtract or we add? I don't know if people are getting the prophecy. When you multiply equation 1 by 3, and why are you doing that? You chose 1 and 2 to eliminate Z, but the coefficients are not the same, so we are supposed to make sure they are the same. And how are we going to do that? By multiplying equation 1 by 3. Why 3? Equation 2 is already having negative 3 as the coefficient. Someone may be like, why don't you really make it why don't you multiply by negative 3 so that it is the same? It's not a must for it to be the same sign, but it is very important for it to be the same figure. If it is 3, it is 3. The sign comes later. Same sign we subtract, different sign we add. Same sign we subtract, different sign we add. Simple as that. So do you people see that we shall have to multiply equation 1 by 3, and after that we shall have to add equation 2. Do people see that? Because there are steps I want to skip. You don't really need them. This is A level and you'll be very okay. No one will really blame you. But for this one, I'm going to draw for people the other table they really like so much, so that people really don't feel left out. And okay, people already turning on their videos. I'm seeing someone with very big eyes. That person take alcohol because the eyes are red and it is just 10. And I believe you are in holiday, you're sleeping enough. So for a student to have red eyes right now, that is either weed or alcohol. So let me hope you're safe. I will not mention your name, that will be too embarrassing and very bad. So we have agreed that the best thing to do is to get equation 1 and 2, add them. But after multiplying equation 3 or equation 1 by 3, what have I said? Since we are adding, the order won't matter. So I can come and say, we are going to get equation 3, multiply it. I don't know why I'm saying equation 3. We are going to get 3 and multiply it by equation 1. I really beg your pardon. I don't know why I'm not right. Then we are going to add equation 2. Isn't it what we said? So I'm going to draw the other table people like so much. So when you multiply equation 1 by 3, you will have 6x, you will have 9y, you will have 3y, 3z, you will have the 3. What have I said? You will have 6x. You can tell me in case I go astray. This is 9y. I'm seeing this as 3z. I'm seeing this as what? 3. Are we together? Then I'm adding equation 2. Equation 2 is remaining the way it is. 3x minus y minus 3z, and it is equal to a 3. Are we together? So I'm seeing 3x here. I'm seeing y here. I'm seeing 3z here. Then this side I'm seeing 3. And we said we are adding. So this is the table people like so much. So you do that. You put that. Then you say we are adding something like that. It is nice to have it. I really like it. But if someone really misses it, I doubt that the benefit of doubt will have to go to the item taker. Okay, is that right? Have we multiplied equation 1 well by 3? And do you people know why we are adding? Because we are eliminating z and the coefficients having a different sign, positive and negative, different sign. We decided that we are adding the equations. So I think we are safe. So what is the result of that? So the end result of that, we shall have 9x, of course. 9y plus negative y, that will be 8y. Of course, this will be turning out to be a 0. And then the other side, when we add, we shall have a 6. Something like that. And guess what? Guess what? This thing cannot reduce anymore. And I told you after the first elimination, what we are coming out with is equation 4. So you come and say that this is equation what? Equation 4. You label it any way that you want. You can put the arrow outside in case things are not fitting well. But if they are fitting, you can just have the curve there with your commas. Or you can just have it as 4 like that. Or you can even have them in square brackets. This is math. The cosmetics are very okay. Then in the first place, you chose 1 and 2. So you're supposed to go for another set of equations and then do the same thing. And you people, thank you for staying on up to this time. You're the first students of senior 5 I've taught, and you've maintained almost a constant number for more than 1 hour. Most of the students, even when I'm discussing a very simple topic, that means if we start hard topics, people are going to just even be increasing in number. You're making me even think that I should talk to the Sun Scholars Academy team and we have free classes the whole holiday. But I think it is too late. Those who paid will curse others. But you people are so serious. Hope you're going to maintain that vigor until the end of senior 6. But I may be here trying to really praise people yet they are sleeping. All of you, you write for me you write for me what you're seeing in the chat. You write for me what you're seeing on the chat. You write for me what you're seeing on screen in the chat. I confirm that really people are here. I may be praising people who are dozing. P53, P53. That is so nice. That is so nice. That is so nice. That is so nice. Yeah? You people, stop writing in the screen, please. Behave. Okay. Okay. Why I chose P53? P53, we shall study it. But it's one of the most common things at medical school. For those of you who will take on the course or any other medical course, this is a tumor suppressor gene. Very nice. Yeah. But it has so many deactivators, or what you people call inhibitors or inactivators whatsoever. But I will say that in classes of biology. So let's go for now 2 and 3. So if at all we go for 2 and 3, someone may be like, why are you going for that? Because it's having a 0, and I believe a 0 will really help me out. Even if we first went for 1 and 3, things will still work out. You just go for anything that you want. Please, people, kindly stop writing in the screen. Every time you write in the screen, it is supposed to go off and get back. So let's be disciplined and save time. That 1 minute we waste quarreling and doing what? I can say in a very good concept or some simple advice. So stop it. And for today, I'm in good mood. I don't want to remove anyone from the meeting. So let's behave and save time. Okay, let's go for 1 and 3. So when you look at 1 and 3, which one is very nice to eliminate? So when you go for the next set, you don't have a choice. Do you see that 1 and 3, you can eliminate x easily? Because x is having, yes, the coefficients are different, but both are positive. So x turns out to be the easier one to eliminate. But the mind map says you're supposed to eliminate the same number. So when you go for the second set, you have no option of choosing what to eliminate. You have already decided to go on with z. So going for 1 and 3, whether 2 and 3, it is automatic that you're supposed to eliminate z as well, because we are supposed to eliminate the same letter so that we get another equation in the same unknowns. so that we can proceed with simultaneous solution. You know that people are getting. So going with 1 and 3, or sorry, going with 1 and 3, or 2 and 3, we are supposed to eliminate Z. But we cannot go with 2 and 3, people. You look at it. 2 is having the coefficient as -3. 3 is having the coefficient as -2. Those ones are hard to deal with. But in case it comes out as the only option, you're supposed to do it. So you go for 1 and 3. Why? The coefficients are easy to really solve. Okay? You people tell me. Tell me. This is what I want you to write for me in the chat. If at all I'm taking 1 and 3 and I want to eliminate Z, what am I going to write? I want something like this. Let me edit it in green so that people can see it. Do you see this thing? Is what I'm really looking for from all of you are on. And everyone is supposed to participate. If at all I'm considering equation 1 and 3, are you listening? And I'm still supposed to eliminate Z. What thing am I supposed to write that resembles something like that? Which equation am I multiplying by what, and how are subtractions going to be made, or additions? I'm waiting in the chat. I just need one answer, we proceed. Doctor, I was asking, if I subtract equation 3 minus 2 and then equation 1 minus 2, then I do the math. Is it okay? Because I think I get some answers. It depends. If you're subtracting equation 3 minus 2, that means the coefficients of what you're eliminating are already the same and they have the same sign because you're subtracting. So follow the mind map of elimination. Otherwise, you will end up not getting a solution. Someone is giving us answers. Someone is like 2 times equation 1. Then what? Then what? Someone is like 2 times equation 1 plus equation 3. Another one is saying equation 1 plus 2 times equation 3. Which equation are we really multiplying by? People are really not getting me. We are considering equation 1 and 2 and we are eliminating Z. In equation 1, the coefficient of Z is positive 1. Do you see it? And in equation 3, the coefficient of Z is -2. So we are multiplying by 2. And what are we multiplying by 2? It is equation 1. So when you multiply equation 1 by 2, you will have +2 and -2 as the coefficients of Z in either equations. So these coefficients have different sign. So we are supposed to add. So it is 2 times equation 1 plus equation 3. Do people have that in the chat? 2 times equation 1 plus equation 3. So I think people get that. 2 times equation 1 plus equation 3. We multiply equation 1 by 2, then add equation 3. That is nice. That is nice. That is nice. So we are progressing. So you realize I don't need to do a lot of numbers. Provided people get the concept. You just need to proceed. So people have told me that doctor, simply get equation 1, multiply it by 2, and after that, simply add equation 3. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? And when I look at equation 1, you all know it is 2x plus 3y plus z. So if I'm to multiply it by 2, I will have it here as 4x. I will have it here as 6y. I will have it here as 2z. Are we together? And then this side, I will have it as a 2, if I'm not mistaken. Because I believe when I divide throughout by 2, I'll go back to the same question. Are we together? Then I'm simply adding equation 3. And how does equation 3 look like? It is -2 to then zeros. -2 to then zeros. It is -2 to then the 0 this side. Then I'll bring our cut table. Then we have agreed that we are adding. Why? The coefficients of the Z we are supposed to eliminate, they're having a different sign. So we are supposed to add. So it's going. So what do we have? 4x plus x, that is 5x, plus 6 plus -2y, we remain with 4y. Of course, Z is going to plus 0 is just 2. And then we get equation 5. Anyway, the people are seeing what I told them. If at all you have issues with square brackets, just put this in brackets like this. Equation 5. Just have a neat handwriting with math. You will enjoy the subject. So when I pinch the screen, do you see? This is what I told you. That your first consideration will yield equation 4, and then your second consideration will yield equation 5. So do you see that you're having equation 4 and 5 that are in unknowns of x and y? Now you solve those ones the way we solved the others. And that is it. And that is it. Now I'm going to ask you a technique. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this because now this is a bit serious. I want you to look at this equation 4 and also look at this equation 5. Which method can really solve them so fast without us wasting a lot of time? Is it elimination or substitution? Let me see if people know math. Which one is really going to help us very fast? Elimination or substitution? Remember, both of them cannot be reduced. Yes, even this equation 5 has no common factor. You know elimination, you know how it works. Substitution, you know how it works. So which one is going to help us solve those two very fast? Let me see what people are saying. Elimination. Yes, most people are saying elimination. And you people tell me, if we are to eliminate, which one are we supposed to eliminate first? You tell me, what are we eliminating first? The method has been chosen. Let's now choose the unknown to eliminate. How many of you are saying y? So good. There are those who are saying x. But x may be hard because x is having coefficients of 9 and 5. 9 and 5 don't have anything in common. So you people tell me, if we are to eliminate y, what are we going to do? Just tell me, what are we going to do if we are to eliminate y? Tell me, if we are to eliminate y, what are we going to do? We have chosen the method elimination, we have chosen the unknown y, and so what are we supposed to do next after that? Please be fast in the chat. I just need one answer. One answer. Add the equations. That is wrong. That is wrong. Another person. Another person. We exchange the coefficients. That is wrong. Multiply equation 5 by 2. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you people see that when we multiply equation 5 by 2, we are going to create somewhere 8y? And 8y is already in equation 4. So we shall subtract and the 8y will disappear. Do you people see that? Do you people see that? That if at all you've said elimination will work. When I look at those two equations, something easier to eliminate is y. Why? In equation 4 there is 8y. In equation 5 there is 4y, and those two are related. How are they related? Multiplying 4y by 2 will create 8y, of which 8y minus 8y is a 0. So eliminating y will be actually easier. So what should be that statement you're supposed to write next? The statement should be, now people, I'm asking, after you've multiplied the equation 5 by 2, guess what? You're going to have something like 10x, you're going to have something like 8y, you're going to have something like 4. So I'm asking, is it supposed to be this new equation? Okay, let's say this new equation is equation 6, or the new equation 5, or equation 6. Is it supposed to be 6 minus 4 or 4 minus 6? I mean the equations. Remember, we have said to eliminate y, equation 5 must be multiplied by 2. Because 8y will be created somewhere, of which 8y is already in equation 4. So subtracting them will create a 0. But which order of subtracting are we going to follow? 4 minus 6 or 6 minus 4? Someone tell me. I want to see the real mathematicians in the chat. Someone tell me, is it 6 minus 4, 4 minus 6? And all of you have failed. All of you have failed. All of you have failed because most of you are saying 6 minus 4, 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4, 6 minus 4. All of you have failed. All of you have failed. After saying all of you have failed, now people are telling me 4 minus 6, which is wrong. Which is wrong. The right one is 6 minus 4. So you people are just falling for traps anyhow. You want to claim that it was network, yet you had me first disclaim the other one, and then you're trying to be on my side. You people, the right one is 6 minus 4. Why? 6 minus 4 will give us x after 10x minus 9x. Then the other side, we shall have 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. So you'll be exactly getting the answer. Then someone may be like, doctor, you don't know math. Because even when we say 4 minus 6, we shall get negative x. And then the other side, we shall have positive 2. And the negative will go the other side. Now, do you see that you're just making your tasks more? Why would you have a negative on the variable, on the unknown? So always go for those methods that give you a very clear or a positive unknown so that you just get the answer automatically. But you forcing a negative x will give you other tasks of having to transfer the negative the other side. And trust me, most of you will get x after saying 9x minus 10x. Trust me. Especially when you're doing this number and the teachers have said 10 minutes remaining. Trust me, you get x after saying 9x minus 10x. What is the best thing? Avoid negatives on unknowns as much as you can. If you have the chance, use it well. So after that step, you realize these things need more prophecy than actually the actual work. The paper may end when you're still just prophesizing. But this is happening because this is a class. At a personal level, these are things you do chap chap. That's why most of you are realizing or looking at this as wastage of time, because you've already seen what to do. So like, our doctor is really wasting a lot of my time. But I told you, all classes we hold here, we hold them once and for good. So every time we get a chance to cover something, we give it our all so that we never come back here. If they are simultaneous, we handle even Echelon and we get done. Are we together? So we are going to write 2 times equation 5 minus equation 4. Okay. What have I said? We are going to get, so after this, I want you people to go and do a lot of numbers. Just use the elimination method. The only method where the examiner may be a bit biased is row reduction to echelon form. But others, they leave you to use what you want. And for 3 variables, the best is elimination. But when you reach these 2 unknowns, you can decide whether to use elimination or substitution. But there in the beginning, it's supposed to be elimination, as I said. When you reach these ones, decide which one really will work for you. So we are going to say 2 times equation 5, 2 times equation 5, and then we shall subtract equation 4. So you people have said that when we get equation 5 and multiply it by 2, we shall have 10x here. Then we shall have 8y. Then the other side we shall have 4. Then you people have told me that here we shall have 9x. Equation 4 is like this, 8y. And I think here we have a 6. Because remember we are supposed to get a negative to somewhere. So when I bring this cuttable like this. So when I bring this cuttable, a serious student should have provided us with the values of x and y and z in the chat to show your friends that it's them that are unserious, but you actually know what you want. Okay, moment. So let me hope you people have tried out the substitutions. Share about that. Someone played with our screen, but I've already warned you against that. So those who recall very well, we're at a step where our equation 2 was multiplied by 2. So we had something like 10x. Are we together? And then this was 8y. The other side we had a 4 after multiplying it by 2. And then equation 1 had just remained as 9x. This one was 8y. And then this was 6. And we are supposed to subtract, if you recall very well. So subtracting, we have agreed it will yield x as x. Then y shall be disappearing. And then we shall have negative 2. Just that. And then you have your answer. So the next thing to get is y. Okay, so for you to get the value of y, you can decide. You can either use equation 5, you can use equation 4. So when I look at this was my equation 4, you know equation 5. Equation 5 looks easier, but for today, let me use the hard things. So for me, let me use equation 4. So I'll come and say using equation 4. And I told you you're not supposed to rewrite it. Those who are following and copying notes, this is our equation 4. So when you're using equation 4, you just substitute directly. You'll be like 9 into our x is negative 2, then plus 8y. Oh, thank you so much, Shadia. You people, I told you when you don't see anything, you're supposed to give me a call. Oh my God. Thank you, the person who has called. That's the role of support assistants. You people, I told you when anything is not clear, you're supposed to give me a WhatsApp call because I be seeing the devices. But here I concentrate on the screen. Just because you people have not gotten time to look at our digital classroom, but I cannot look at the chat. I always concentrate on the whiteboard. But do you think whatever is on the screen is okay? This was my equation 5. Remember, equation 5 was 5x plus 4y. Are we together? And this side we had the 2. Then we said we are supposed to multiply the whole of this by 2. Then we subtract equation 4. So this was our equation 4. The way it was, this was equation 5. So we multiplied this by 2, which is the one here. Then we subtracted equation 4, which is the one here. I don't know whether people are getting that thing where we are obtaining our x as negative 2. I think we had talked about it already. So as like after getting x, the next thing to get is y, because we are dealing with equations in y and x first, because earlier z was eliminated. So as like equation 5 is looking very cheap. So for the first time, let me use equation 4 that is looking very complex. And it's what I've been doing. So I've substituted for x. I told you you're not supposed to rewrite this. Just substitute directly because x, you know, it's negative 2. Add the 8y. Y is still y because we haven't obtained it. Then the other side, we are having the 6 like that. Are we together? Then after that, you can get the y. Let me hope I've not really left anyone behind. So after that step, you can get the value of y. You people, after this step, you can just put for us the value of y. Someone may be like, why don't I really show some steps? You people learn to use a calculator. Just be like 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. When I get this negative 18 and put it the other side, it will be 16 plus 18. And this will give me 24. Then when I get over 8, when I divide this 24 by 8, I'll be getting y as what? As 3. You see that I've not even used the calculator, but I've obtained the answer. Then what of you has the calculator? You just need to have the math that is supposed to follow, and then you press the calculator until you get the value of y as what? As 3. Do you see that? This is advanced level. So there are things, everything you can do from the calculator. In most of the cases, it's not awarded marks at this level. But of course, not all. There are those where the steps are very key, like substitution into the bulldozer method, as I always guide you in the different concepts. So supposed to be learned concerning that. So you now have the value of x and the value of what? Y. So you're supposed to go back to the question. Remember, it had 3 unknowns. Do you recall? Um, who has our equation 1? Okay, those who have been following, I want someone who is copying notes to raise up their hand and read for us equation 1. I see if I really have people who are following. So you come and say using. Okay, let me go for, I think Pasco was the first one. Pasco, you tell us. Okay, which one is easier? According to me, I'm seeing equation, I think equation 3 is looking the cheapest. So let's use equation 3. So Pasco, read equation 3.
X minus 2y minus
That
27
is
equals
wrong.
to
That
0.
is wrong. That is wrong. I told you that when you're using a certain equation, don't rewrite it. So you're supposed to feed in what you already have. So read again equation 3.
Negative 2
That is wrong.
minus,
Hey, that is right. That is right. X is negative 2. Yeah. Negative 2
negative
minus
2 minus 2 bracket 3
bracket 3 to show that you're substituting for y.
my, minus 2z equals to 0.
Why are you saying Z?
Z.
Which was your primary school? Because it seems to be a good one. I had also decided to use Z because I know most of my people here are local, just like I was.
Okay.
But you must have Must have gone to a very good school. I know some of my friends like Shadia who have been studying from Masaka since baby class. They cannot relate to the Z part, but the right pronunciation is Z. Though I'm supposed to use Z to cater for us all. Okay, so equation 3 first and foremost looked very cheap, and it had been equated to 0, making it a bit cheaper. You understand? So use your calculator and be like, this is -2, this is -6, making it -8. When this one goes the other side, it becomes +8. You divide by -2, it becomes a -4. I don't think I'm really leaving anyone behind, and I don't really think I'm that fast. I think the pace is okay. Do people see that math? Yeah, -2, -6, total -8. The other side, +8. Divide by -2, -4. And then you get the answer. So you get the value of Z as -4. Then you conclude. Come and tell us the solution. So do you remember when I told you about the Cartesian plane that has the X, Y, and Z axes? So you also come and say the solution set is, those who have covered vectors with us, you know that, that the point is having 3 coordinates: X coordinate, Y coordinate, and the Z coordinate. And that is it. You people, I want you to be really, I want you to be real from the chat. I want you to be real. Do you really think with whatever I've said, because I've said a lot, I'm even starting to feel throat pain. Do you really think I'm supposed to do more numbers concerning that? Or you people have gotten the technique? Because trust me, I've said it all. According to me, I've said it all. So I don't really think there is anything else you need. Do you people think I need to say anything more? Do I really need to do the same number concerning that? Or you people have gotten the technique, we should now try Echelon. And the person called Louis King, remove those green lines before I remove you from the meeting. You're the same person who has been putting lines ever since the lesson started. Try to behave. So people tell me, do you really think I need to do anything else concerning that? Or I should put some other number? Let me see what people are saying in the chat. Doctor, we try the matrix method. You people, you're not replying well. When you say another number, you're like, doctor, we should do. When you say another number, you mean we repeat those things. We eliminate and then, like what we have just done. Then when you say another trick, I'm going to give you another trick because you need it before I can even teach you the matrix one. Or let me actually teach the matrix one so that the other tricks come in later. So, do you people really need another number in line with what we have just discussed? Or you can do other numbers? Or you can do other numbers? Or you can do other numbers? I'm not going to trust any of you. I'm not going to trust any of you. Let me just put something small and then you people tell me what we are going to do. I just want someone to unmute and speak the math and tell us that, doctor, you're going to do this, this, and this. This is the number. Someone who says that those things are cheap. You are the person I want. Raise up your hand and just tell us that you are going to label, do this and this, because you're claiming to be knowing this. And I think Joshua is ready. So Joshua, this is the number. It is x plus z equaling to 1 minus 2y. Then we are having 5z plus y. And I'm having 3x minus 8. Okay. Then the other last number, it is 2x plus 3y minus z And I think this is plus 1, and then it is equated to 0, like that. That's how the work is. So I want someone to unmute and tell me that, doctor, this is what we are going to do first, like that, like that. Where is Joshua? Joshua disappeared already. Okay, Joshua, unmute. So you, the rest of the people, before we go to the other method, even when you know this, first try it out. First try it out. I want us to just be, you be trying it out, because the methods I'm going to use, I'm going to do more of talking, then I write the final thing, and then we compare answers. So that people in the chat can tell me same answer, same answer, same answer, then we go to the next thing. So Joshua, tell us, what are we supposed to do next?
So first of all, we are going to
Mm.
rearrange the equations.
So for you, don't greet.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Paul Tutor.
I'm Dr. Paul. Anyway, yeah, that name is also okay. Proceed. I
So
thought you had
first of
called
all,
me Paul. There is a student who calls me bro. You
okay.
people, is it right? You first told me in the chat, is it right to call me bro? Because someone told me that that is Gen Z's. Someone told me, hey bro, add me to your WhatsApp group. Is that right? And what is the meaning of Gen Z? I don't really get that. Hey bro, add me to your WhatsApp group. Proceed, Joshua.
So first of all, we're going to rearrange the equations.
Yes, and okay, you rearrange for us the first one.
So the first one is x plus z plus 2y is equal to 1
X plus Z plus
plus 2
2y.
is equal to
Also,
1.
you've carried the negative 2y from the other side to this side, and then you equated it to 1. Okay, that is
Yes.
right. And then the next, how are you going to rearrange?
The next one is 5z plus y minus 3x is equal to negative 8.
Now, I want us to arrange at once, such that the order, by the way, this is what I advise. After you doing this, let's have the order at once, because now we shall have a lot of rearranging. This is very right.
Oh,
But I would beg after that, now we make it x, y, z. So we have x, then we have 2y next.
plus
Okay.
z
Plus z, then 1
is
the other
equal to
side.
1.
Now tell me
Then
about the next.
the next one is negative 3x.
That's where I wanted. That's where I wanted. Go on. Negative 3x
Negative 3x plus 5z. And I mean
plus
plus
y.
y.
Okay, plus
Plus
y.
y
Then plus
plus
5z.
5z is
Uh-huh.
equal to negative 8.
Is equal to negative 8. That is okay. But um, what if? What if me I say? You look here. What if me I first say that I put, okay, I don't want, because x is beginning, so what if I don't want to make that x a negative, and I be like, let me carry the other negative 8 this side, then this side I have 3x, then I bring the positive y as negative y this side, then the 5z as negative z this side. Then as I rearrange, I just now come and say 3x, I just switch positions. I taught that in quadratics. Then this is minus 5z, and then I equate this to 8, like that. Is that right?
Yes, it's right.
Do you realize it is the same as yours? Just because there is
Yes,
just a slight difference in signs. So what you've just said is okay, but it is always better for that x to be uniform. So if you have any chance, you do it. But even yours is okay. But imagine you make it a positive. Okay. Imagine you divide throughout this by negative, by negative, by negative, by negative. Do you see that we shall get here?
yes,
So I've not said what you've said is wrong. It is very okay. But always look for those ways of having the coefficient of x as a positive, so that you rearrange and come up with something really beautiful. You understand?
yes,
However, all other things are okay. Then the last one, I think the last one is a bit easier. You people stop
yes,
following me and Joshua. You do your thing. Do your thing, wait for the final ones, and let's confirm. So it's now Joshua doing, and I'm doing with him. So supposed to also be doing. When we get the answers, don't write your answers in the chat. You're going to make those people still trying develop tachycardia. So wait, don't do anything. Don't do anything. And also the other thing, I want to teach you how to confirm answers from the calculator. But I'm going to do that after we have solved this. Joshua, you arrange the last one. What should I write?
And the last one is 2x plus 3y
2x
minus
plus
z
3y.
minus z
Yeah.
is equal to -1.
Is equal to -1 because the positive goes the other side. So now all of
Yes.
them are together, right? So we have now
Yes.
the right things to label. So we come and label this one as 1. So prepare to tell us what next. So this is equation 1. This is equation 2. And this is equation 3. So what are we supposed to do next?
So first of all, I'm going to get equation 1 and equation 2. And I'm going to eliminate y.
Hey, so this time around, let's try another letter. Let's eliminate y. And if you're to
Yes.
eliminate y, what are you going to do?
I'm going to multiply the equation 2 by 2.
By 2. Because in equation 2, the coefficient of y is currently -1. But that in equation 1 is a 2. So we are supposed to at least make them look similar, even when the sign is a bit different, isn't it? And the only way
Yes.
to do that is by multiplying equation 2 by 2. But do you realize the signs will be different?
Yes.
Equation 1 has positive 2y, equation 2 will have -2y. So what shall we have to do for both equations 1 and 2? Adding them, subtracting?
We add.
We add, because different sign, we add. So you come and be like, so you come here and say, 2 times equation, is it 2?
2. Yes.
Then we add equation 1. Is it what you said?
Yes.
So this time around, I'm not going to do that cut table because I know people know it very well. Do you realize that I will be adding 6x to x?
6. Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes. To
But
get
this is what
7.
I'm saying, that when we multiply this one by 2, it will be 6x. And remember, we are adding. When you add on this x, you will get 7x, isn't it?
Yes.
The y will be disappearing because I will have 2y plus -2y, which is a 0. When I multiply this by 2, I will have -10z. When I add -10z to z, what do I get? Where is Joshua?
-10. I'm here.
-10z plus z, what do you get? Just press the calculator. -10 plus 1. You have 10 negatives
-9.
and 1 positive. You remain with 9 negatives, right?
Yes.
So it will be -9z equals. You people don't mind if for you considered 1 and 3. That's why I told you for you to do and you find us. For you might have considered 1 and 3, 2 and 3. It is okay for us. We have begun with 1 and 2, which is also okay. So when I multiply this 8 by 2, it will be 16. When I add 1 to 16, I will have 17, not so?
Yes.
And then this will be my equation 4, something
4.
like that. So we are done, Joshua. What next? What is the next set? So we have now decided that it is why we are eliminating. So we cannot change our minds. Which set can I
So
go for?
let us get equation 2 and equation 3.
You're going for equation. Which one and which one? 2 and 3. So when I
Yes.
look at equation 2, it is having -1 as the coefficient of y. And when I look at equation 3, it's having +3 as the coefficient of y. Not so?
Yes.
And the signs are different, not so?
Yes.
That means after whatever things I'm supposed to do, I will have to add both equations, right?
Yes.
So which equation am I multiplying by what?
So we are multiplying equation 2 by 3.
By 3. And then I add, right?
Yes.
So we shall say, shall get equation 2 multiplied by, no,
By 3.
we are getting 3
Equation.
and multiplied by equation 2. Also,
Yes. Yes.
equation 2. And then which equation are we adding?
We are adding equation 3.
Adding equation 3. So I want you to look at those two equations very well. Do you see that when I multiply equation 2 by 3, are you seeing that this Are you seeing this 3x? When you multiply it by 3, it will become 9x. 9x, when you
Yes.
add this 2x, it will become 11x. Do you see that?
Yes.
Of course, y is cancelling because negative 3y plus 3y is 0. Then when I get this negative 5z and multiply it by 3, I'll get negative 15. When I add 3, sorry, when I send negative 15 minus 1 or plus negative 1, I get negative 16, isn't it?
Yes.
So I will have here minus 16z. Then when I get this 8 and multiply it by 3, I'll get 24. When I get 24 and add negative 1, I'll get 23. Isn't it?
3. Yes.
And then I'll get this one as 5 like that. Now,
Mm.
which method is going to easily work for us to solve 4 and 5? Which
So-
method are you going for? You
So
have
for farm,
substitution, you have elimination. Which one is really better?
for me, I go for elimination.
Elimination. Elimination is always better because substitution requires, okay, there is a way it brings in fractions and it makes things to be very hard. But elimination will always work. If we are to eliminate, what are you going to do? This one is a bit hard because in the beginning you have 7 and 9. Then the other
Yes.
is, it is 11 and 16. Very hard. So what are you going to do for such a case? Which one are you going to eliminate?
So for this one, let us eliminate. Let us eliminate x.
Yes, because x is having 7 and 11, which are less values, right?
Yes.
You can also eliminate z, but it's having 9 and 16, which are bigger. So you always go for elimination that involves very small values. It turns out to be very cheap to deal with. Okay?
Yes.
Now we go. So you're saying that, so what are we going to do if we are to eliminate x? What are we going to do for equation 4? What are we going to do for equation 5? And what are we going to do afterwards? Because
So
this coefficient must resemble this, but the figure is 7, the other is 11. Which trick do we use?
we are going to multiply equation 4 by 11, and then we are
Equation
going to
4 by
multiply
11 so that we create 77, and then equation 5 by
by 7.
so that we create 77. So you people, have you learned that? That if at all you want to eliminate maybe z, and z is maybe, let's say, 13z and maybe 29z, and you can't really see a factor there, simply get the first one multiplied by 29, get this one multiplied by 13. 29 times 13 will be the same thing, so you will have created the same coefficient and your work will be simplified. I don't know whether that makes sense. And both are positive, so we shall expect subtraction afterwards. So what do I expect? So someone may be like, will it be 5 minus 4 or 4 minus 5? These values are very big. You may not be so sure. You may not be so sure, but trust me, if at all you know that you're multiplying this by 11 and you're multiplying this by 7, you know x is going. So you'd be like, what is 11 times 9? It is 99. Then you'd be like, what is 16 times 7? You press your calculator. Those who are good at math, you know it is 112, if I'm not mistaken. So when you see that 112 is greater than 99 and we are subtracting, that means it will be better to say 4 minus 5. But if at all that prophecy is hard for you, just do anything that you want. Just do anything that you want. But I've just tried to tell you that. But if that is hard, there is prophecy that is not necessary and it is too perfect. And me, when it comes to such calculations, I want to be a perfectionist. I want to check the prophecy and do the right thing that leads me to what I really want. Are we together? So let's say you're going to see what I mean. So I've told you it's better we say 4 minus 5. So we are going to get 11 multiplied by equation 4. And these are things you did at O level. Minus 7 times equation 5. Okay. Then I think here we shall need the cat table because these values are a bit big. So when you get 11 times equation 4, you'll have 77 here, x, okay? Then we'll have 99z here. 17 times 11, you check, is it 187? I don't know if I still have some math. Then we shall have 7 times equation 5, whereby this one shall be 77 still. And then 16 times 7, we agreed 112, like that. Then 23 times 7, check and confirm and tell me whether it's 161. I don't know. You can confirm to me. And then we have said we are subtracting. Why? We want 77x to be eliminated, and it's getting eliminated. So somewhere I'm seeing negative 99 minus. I seeing the negative 99 minus, then negative 112. So we shall end up with 99 plus 112, which will create a positive 13, the one I've been telling you about. Remember I told you that it's better the unknown to have the negative. But if for you said 7 times equation 5 minus and you get negative 13z, it is okay. The negative can go the other side. Okay. Equals 187 minus that, we are getting 26. I think that is right. And I will be getting my z as a 2. As simple as that. Is that really hard? It's not hard at all. So let me hope people also got the 2. So you see the values are big, but the answer comes out as right. You see the answers you get, even when you've been having very big values, you cannot get scared. You be like, yeah, I'm on the right track. Okay? Now, you can be like, let me use equation 5. After all, it's the one that I'm even actually seeing right now. So you'd be like using equation 5. What are you going to be like? 11x minus 16. And guess what? Value of z is a 2. Then the other side, you'll be having a 23, like that. Then you get the value of x. I told you after that, don't do a lot of steps. Just be a good mathematician. Be a good mathematician. And be like, this one is a 32, and it is a negative. So I'm supposed to add it the other side. Go to your calculator, be like 23 plus 32, get 55. Then be like, this side I have 11x by 11. This was 55 by 11. So you're getting x as 5. So you put 5 because you can do it from the calculator at once and get the answer. So save space and also do what? Save time. So this will be x as 5. Hope people got these values. Hope people got these values. There are values you get and you'll be like, this one is correct. So we had 3 equations in the first place. So you can also be like, which one am I really going for? I don't know if Joshua is still on or he left me here. But I want him to choose which equation we should really go for. Because in the first place, he's the one who really decided to go for this. So Joshua, tell us, equation 1, 2, and 3, which one should we go for? And let me hope you wrote it down because as you use it, you're not supposed to rewrite it. You simply substitute and get the answer or the output.
Okay. I think
So which one are we going for?
We use equation 1.
Equation 1, it is looking cheap. It is x plus 2y plus z equal to 1.
Yes.
So we are using equation 1. So you just come here and say using 1. Just that, using 1. We have the value of x, which is 5, not so?
Yes.
Plus 2y, we are looking for y, not so?
Yes.
Plus z. And what is the value of z?
2.
2 equal to 1, right?
Yes.
And what is 5 plus 2?
7.
And what is 1 minus 7?
Negative 6.
And what is negative 6 divided by 2?
Negative 3.
We just put negative 3. Do you see that it is unnecessary to really show other steps apart from the final answer?
Yes.
Do we stop there or there is something else?
I think, like you said, we make a solution set.
Yes, and read it for me. So you said therefore the solution set?
Therefore, the solution set is 5, comma,
5,
negative 3, then
2.
then 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the submission. You can mute. So you people, that is all, and I don't think I really need to do any other thing concerning that. I think that has been exhausted completely.